So guys, today I am at Cedar Point for the second day in a row here. So pretty much yesterday I was focusing on riding all like the main coasters. Now today I'm mainly focusing on like riding all the filler roller coasters so I can get a lot of coaster credits. So yeah, this will be fun. I hope to ride some rides like Valraven and Magnum XL 200 and Gemini and Raptor and a lot more. So yeah, this will be fun. Alright, so I'm in the park, so I believe the first ride I'm gonna do today will be Wicked Twister, since it's only a 5-minute wait and it's near the front of the park. So yeah, that'll be fun. Alright, so here's Wicked Twister. I don't see it running, but the app says it's a 5-minute wait, and it could just be not running because maybe not enough people are getting on it. But yeah, I'm just gonna check it out. Hopefully it is running right now, but the app says it's running, so it should be. Alright, so based on that footage you saw, I guess that answers my question. Yes, it is operating. Just rode Wicked Twister, which is my first Intamin impulse coaster, and it was a pretty fun ride. In terms of smoothness, it had a strong rattle, but I did not think that really made it bad or anything, because it was still a lot of fun. Alright, so now I believe I'm gonna be headed to Magnum XL 200, which is only a 5-minute wait. Which Magnum XL 200, that's actually the world's first hyper coaster. So yeah, that should be fun to ride. I hear it's got lots of good air time, so yeah. Alright, so now I believe I'm gonna ride Gemini since it's right next to Magnum XL 200. I hear it's an old classic ride, but I've heard some people say it's a lot of fun, so I'm hoping it is. So yeah. I just rode Gemini. That is definitely better than Magnum XL 200, especially since it isn't as bumpy. It's mostly very smooth. So yeah, and it was fun, especially with the aspect of dueling, since you're racing the other train. So yeah, that's fun. Alright, now I'm gonna go on Cedar Creek Mine Ride. This should be a pretty fun classic mine train coaster. Just rode Cedar Creek Mine Ride, and I thought that was a solid family mine train coaster. It was better than Magnum, actually. I enjoyed it more than Magnum, but it's not as good as Gemini. So yeah, it's pretty solid. There's one thing I want to point out about Frontier Town, which I'd say is definitely a lot different from the other park. It honestly gives me Dollywood vibes. I get Dollywood vibes every time I cross through the Frontier Town area. So it looks like they've got a little petting zoo right here. So that's neat. Also, it's right next to Millennium Force. All right, here's Rougarou in the distance here. This is looking to be my next coaster credit, as well as my first B&M of this trip. Wait, why did it fully stop? That's weird. All right, so turns out I'm not gonna be riding Rougarou here because for some reason, so many of the rides here at Cedar Point keep breaking down. I really don't know what it is, but like, cause I never see rides go down like this much unless there's like bad weather. So I think I'm gonna ride Iron Dragon next. I just rode my first aero suspended coaster, that being Iron Dragon, which I almost didn't ride because the ride had another brief delay, which it kind of annoys me that a lot of rides here seem to have brief delays. However, it did reopen before I left, so I managed to get a ride on it, and it was pretty solid. The only thing is that I wish there was more cushioning. The only place there was really cushioning was on the headrest, yeah, but other than that, it was pretty fun. Gonna go on Raptor, but I'm gonna take the sky ride there. And here's the ride I'm riding, Raptor. Just rode Raptor here at Cedar Point, and personally, I think this might be my favorite inverted coaster. I actually think it's better than Montu at Busch Gardens. That's my personal opinion. The only thing I didn't like about this ride is that for some reason it had some rough transition into the brake run, and I didn't like it. And to the final brake run, that is. The mid-course brake run, that was fine. But yeah, I felt like this ride had some great elements, such as like the zero-G roll. The corkscrews felt great, and I like that final helix at the end. It was pretty intense. So yeah. All right, pardon my hair since I took off my hat, but now I'm going to be going to Blue Streak since it's, of course, very close to Raptor right here. So I hear this is a classic wooden coaster. It's the oldest coaster in the park. It should be fun. It might be a little rough, but it should be overall fun. I just rode Blue Streak right here, and I remember when I got on the ride op told everyone it's the most underrated ride in the park. I agree. This ride is so underrated because like it's got some solid airtime, and considering it's the oldest coaster in the park, it opened in 1964. That was 57 years ago. Considering it's 57 years old, it is really well maintained because literally it wasn't even rough, really. Like that, like it was it was very enjoyable. I think it's underrated. You know what's odd? So I decided to get a re-ride on Blue Streak. Now, when I rode it the first time, I rode it in row 2, and it wasn't even rough. It was fairly smooth, only maybe a little shaky. I rode it again in row 9, and it was pretty rough. But however, I wouldn't say it's a bad ride though. It's still a fun wooden coaster. I'd say a classic. It just wasn't smooth that time. That time it was pretty rough. Well, yet again, it's still fun. All right, so I just ate at Johnny Rockets, which was pretty good. So now I'm gonna go on my most anticipated ride of the day, which is Valraven. So that should be fun. All right, so I just rode Valraven. It would be better than Shikra if it didn't have the vest restraints, because I feel like the vest restraints restrict the airtime quite a bit. It still gives some pretty good airtime though, especially on the first drop, and it has an airtime hill. It also has 2 extra inversions, the best one in my opinion being the 0G roll. But other than that, I think Shikra might be a little bit better just because it has better restraints, but I think the 2 rides are neck and neck. So I think I'm gonna ride a ride that I'll probably regret riding, that is Corkscrew, and I'm really just doing it for the credit. After that, I might get a night ride on Steel Vengeance. That's my goal for tonight. Despite what I'm about to experience, let me just say, this is such a picturesque coaster, like probably the most picturesque in the park. I hate to say it, I'm not exactly excited to ride this ride, but gotta do it for the credit, man. Okay, so I rode Corkscrew, and because I heard how it was gonna be, I decided to ride with my head firmly against the headrest. I think because I did that, I didn't have a terrible experience on Corkscrew. I mean, like, I'd say I barely got any head banging. If anything, maybe the back of my head hurt because a little bit, because I was putting my head so firmly against the headrest, and I'm sure at some point it probably went off, hit it, I don't know. But yeah, I thought that was okay. So I might get a rewrite on Steel Vengeance, although it's looking like a long wait. But even if it is, you know, I think it's the perfect coaster. But I don't think I'm gonna get any more credits unless Rougarou reopens, which, by the way, apparently it's down again. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and be sure to turn on post notifications to get notified of my newest and latest uploads. I'll see you guys in the next video.